Rihal. Today I'm very excited to talk about when and why does AI fail. I've seen many talks for the past few years talking about the benefits of AI, but I would like to increase our awareness about when does it fail. And rather than tell you the reasons of failure and just give you broad ideas, I'm going to actually touch on a story that happened 6 months ago in a company that lost hundreds and millions of dollars from their AI plan. So, Zillow. Zillow is a tech real estate company. It has many services. It advertises for real estate agents, offers services for homeowners, home buyers, and home sellers, as well as renters. So, if you can see here, this is the mobile application. They have various services. And they are involved in the flipping houses in business. So buying houses at a discounted price, selling them for profit. And they do this using Zillow offers and Zestimate. What are those? I'll touch on that in a minute. And they have so much data. So since they started in 2006, they've collected many data across the US. And they have data about homes. So location, price, and home description. All right, so what does Zillow offers? Zillow offers basically buys homes for cash. So they allow homeowners to sell their houses instantly, getting offers from Zillow, but at a discounted price. In return, what they get is they don't have to go through the hassle of selling their home. So contacting real estate agents, setting up their homes for viewing, allowing people to come in, and any other risky and long process that they have to follow to sell their houses. But again, at a discounted price. The company then owns the home, repairs it, and sells it at a profit, hopefully. And this is the business of iBuying. So it's not only Zillow involved in this business, but other tech real estate companies are also involved in this. What is Zestimate? Basically, a valuation tool that Zillow has developed. Basically just predicts the value of the house. And how do they do this? Using AI, basically from the data that they collected. They taught the AI how to predict future value. And yeah, that's how they estimate the home prices. So now you know about Zillow. Let me tell you what happened. Oh, before I move on actually, this is the service. So if you open their app and you have your house, you can see how much they're valued for and you can actually sell it. And what's interesting as well, which is a bit invasive, you can see your neighbor's house and how much that sells for. All right. So between 2018 and 2021, the new CEO, he proposed this business. The investors and shareholders encouraged him to proceed with that. And in 3 years, they bought about 27,000 homes across the US. But the issue was the price estimate from their services was not as accurate as they hoped for. They sold 17,000 houses at a loss. And the inventory went $300 million less in value than what they hoped for. Let me show you an example of how the predictions were not accurate. So in 1 week, in one instance, there was a house that was sold for $750,000. Next week, it was valued for more than $900,000. So in 1 week, the price has changed about 22%. I mean, this is a good case, but what if we flip it? What if I buy the house for $900,000 and then I'm trying to sell it and I cannot sell it for more than $750,000? I just lost a lot of money on that house, eating my profit. A spokesperson, when talking to CNN, said that the issue with the price estimate was being able to accurately forecast the price 3 months, 6 months from now. Because so many factors in the market impacted the price of the house, making the predictions inaccurate. So what happened? They bought so many houses at a high price than they could sell it for. In fact, the results were they have 7,000 houses remaining that are unsold for, roughly at a total price of $2.8 billion. As a result, when their financial reports came out, the stock price, when people saw this, the stock price fell 30%, and they had to fire 2,000 people, including developers and data scientists as well, because of what just happened. So why did the estimate fail, and how did it fail? Well, there are many factors. I'll speak about 4 today. First of all, the business itself is risky. Buying homes for less selling them for profit is a risky business. In fact, iBuying, this business in the US, the market, has a slim profit margin for 1.8% only. So you can imagine any sort of mistake can eat away your profit since it's at that low margin. And there are many hidden factors that nobody can control. As you can imagine, I'll touch on the pandemic, for example. So, unpredictable macroeconomic trends. What has happened is that during the pandemic, during the first half of the pandemic, demand was getting higher, surprisingly. So, home prices were going up regardless of what you did, even not using AI. If you bought a house today, a month from now, 2 months from now, you would be able to sell it at a profit. But there came a time where the demand stopped and it went down rapidly. And as a result, the price fell down rapidly as well. And then what happened with Zillow was all the inventory that they had, they could not sell it at a profit. So, number one, external factors. Actually, risky business, then external factors. And this does not only include the pandemic. You can imagine all the events that we've seen in the past. Any sort of big financial event can cascade to all markets. You can imagine with the financial crisis 2008, the oil prices plunging 2014, the pandemic, and what we're seeing now with the oil prices again, and then inflation. And not to mention the geopolitical situation that we're seeing right now. Data. So, practitioners and specialists in the field were questioning the quality of the data that Zillow has used to train their AI feature. So while they themselves collected data, they also accepted data publicly and from its users. So those two sources were questioned with their quality. Does that matter? They found that it does matter because a 10% error can eat away your profit immediately. So because you're entering risky business, it becomes necessary to ensure everything you're doing is of top quality, including your data. So that's another source of issue that has happened or Zillow has faced. What about the algorithm? Again, practitioners has questioned the choice of algorithms and models that Zillow has used. So the model started degrading in its performance, and the model itself or the algorithm itself had limitations. In fact, many practitioners say this model was not fit for the risky business that Zillow has entered. So what are some lessons that we could learn from this? Well, assess your business plan and assess how you're going to use AI in your business plan. Also, put some contingency plans for if the business or the market itself went differently than what you expected, your AI solution can fit that. And finally, make sure that your AI technology is adaptable to those situations. We cannot predict that the market will stay or remain the same. There are many factors that play a role, and as a result, our technologies must adapt to them. So whether it be data, whether the AI models and algorithms themselves. And there are many ways of informing them or putting in place some tools that will tell us whether something has went wrong or is going wrong. So that when we, the business makers, the decision makers can do something about that before we make a decision based on what our AI solution has predicted. And that's it. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I guess we'll come back in 30 minutes.